Good morning. Happy Mother's Day to all. Thank you for being here on such a gorgeous Sunday, and those of you on social media as well. We're going to start our service right now by singing our opening chant, We Are the Harvest. 1, 2. Seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap.
Good morning, everyone. I am Christine Crawford, and we're delighted that you have joined us in person and online this morning. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. If we are not, I didn't have, a mother. We all had a mother, for sure. So if you're one of our live streamers, feel free to enter your location into the chat. We just love to know where you are. For those that are here in person, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Thank you very much. Let's join together in prayer. In this holy instant, please join with me in that sacred place of stillness that lies within each one of us and at the center of all creation. Let us meet here in the stillness and recognize and realize the infinite, endless, immense, unconditional love of the divine Holy Mother, who is so full of grace. Living right at our heart center, she only knows how to give of herself to its creation and never withholds any good from us. It is here that we rediscover and remember our everlasting and eternal truth, that we are one of God and one with God. And that this divine presence lives and moves and has its very being in each of us, as much as we live and move and have our being in it, and as it. And I know that God's center is everywhere. And because God has no circumference, nothing and no one is outside of God. And I say yes for us all, that we are ready to allow more God in our life. Yes to the abundance, yes to peace, yes to love, yes to joy, and yes to right usefulness in this world. I absolutely know that each one of us has a divine channel for the completeness of God. And as we continue on our journey of spiritual unfoldment in this life, I claim for each of us that we are willing to be willing to live from this place of sacred stillness, listening and surrendering, listening and surrendering to the Master as me, to the Master as you. I'm so grateful to know that this service is blessed and that we are blessed by being together, for every aspect of this service is born of God. I'm so grateful that our beloved ministers, Dr. Mark and Reverend Sidney, are willing to continue to say yes with so much love and commitment to the divine within them, to the Holy Mother within them, that they allow themselves to be used by God to be a sacred channel for the message is today. Each one of us came to hear this morning. I know that we are all uplifted and healed by being together. The faith of God knows that it is done, and my heart is overflowing with deepest gratitude as I release my word into the sacred law, knowing it never returns to me void. And so it is. And together we say, Amen.
I am part of the great might of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am. I am part of the great might of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am. I am part of the great might of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am.
Please rise and join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Please remain standing for our congregational song, Surely the Presence. 1, 2, 3. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Please be seated. As we settle in, let's take a moment to welcome our live streamers. Everybody wave to the camera on your left. Let's also take a moment to recognize and honor all of us here in the sanctuary with a loving namaste, a wave, a smile. We are going to meditate together now for the next 5 minutes. So I invite you to close your eyes and silently repeat the mantra, God's the love that I am. If your mind happens to wander ever so gently, just bring it back to silently repeating, God's the love that I am. And I will bring us out of our meditation in 5 minutes.
I wrote this song when I brought my baby, my newborn, home from the hospital that week. And one day, they were gazing up into my eyes. And I was, so, this is love. And it's enough. It's far more than I ever dreamed of. So, this is fun. And you're the one I've needed for so long. So, this is what it's like, the miracle of life. I feel like I could fly. So, this is how it feels to know a love so real. It could never be denied. So, this is trust, and this is us, closer than anybody ever was. So, this is love, and it's enough. It's far more than I ever dreamed of. So, this is what it's like, the miracle of life. I feel like I could fly. So, this is how it feels to know a love so real. It could never be denied. So this is trust, and this is us, closer than anybody ever was. So this is love, and it's enough. It's far more than I could dream of.
All right, good morning. And happy Mother's Day to you. As is our tradition here, if you are a mother or you put that loving, mothering energy into the world in any way, we would love you to stand up and let us acknowledge you and wish you happy Mother's Day. So, thank you. Thank you. All right, well, Reverend Sydney and I are going to do this together today, so what I want to start with is this. There's this old guy who really loves to fish. I mean, he really loves fishing. And so he's out on the pond one day in his rowboat, and he hears a voice that says, "Hey, pick me up." And he looks around, and there's nobody else around. So he continues fishing, and he hears the voice again. "Hey, over here, pick me up." And he looks over the side of the boat, and he sees a frog swimming. And he thinks, "What? Are you a talking frog?" And the frog looks up and says, "Yes, now pick me up." And he says, "I don't know. Yeah, pick me up. Come on. I'll turn into the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. I'll be your bride, and you will be the envy of all your friends. All you have to do is pick me up and kiss me." And the guy reaches down, and he picks up the frog, and he tucks the frog into his pocket. And the frog says, "What are you doing? I said if you would kiss me, I would turn into the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. I'll become your bride. You'll be the envy of all your friends." And the old guy says, "Nah, at my age, I'd rather have a talking frog." So, I'll be back. Reverend Sidney's going to speak now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, good morning. Well, I was collecting quotes about mothers and motherhood, and I have a few of them. This one it's an unknown source. "If at first you don't succeed, try doing it the way your mom told you to do it in the first place." Phyllis Diller wrote, "I want my children to have all of the things I couldn't afford. Then I want to move in with them." Well, and the final one that I found that I really love is from St. Hildegard of Bingen in the 12th century. She wrote this: "The divine feminine manifests as the cosmic Christ, as the divine image in all beings, as the goddess in nature, as the God within of mysticism, as the circle that is divine power, as love, as the omnipresence of creativity, as the work of compassion, as the fierceness of the warrior, as keeper of the creative fire." Isn't that powerful? It's so powerful. And I don't know if any of you had the chance this weekend to go out on your own adventure and see the aurora borealis anywhere in the sky. Most of us, I think, saw it on Facebook. We saw pictures that other people had posted. My son lives in Portland, so he was up on the 7th floor of the parking garage at the airport where he works and sent pictures. And there were some gorgeous sights. So my husband got home from a gig last night, and it was probably about 10:30 or 11, and I said, "Let's go on an adventure." And he looked at me like, "Oh, God." I said, "Now, come on. I don't ask for much. Let's go find a miracle. I want to go see this. I really want to try and see this." He said, "Now, wait a minute. Everything I've read says you can only see it if you are holding your phone and looking through it." And I said, yeah, so get your phone." He said, "So we want to drive 30 minutes to an hour to an undisclosed location, look up at the sky, hold up our phones, and look at our phones." And I said, "Yes, and it's not a date night." So, but that passion, that is that passion, that creative fire, that is that divine mother. And the thing about Mother's Day that's very interesting is that those of us who are mothers or have been mothered or have honored our mothers in any way, we feel perhaps we walk very comfortably in this holiday. We have an ownership of it. And yet not everybody feels that way, which is, not everybody had the Ozzie and Harriet lifestyle. Am I dating myself? Anybody remember Ozzie and Harriet? Okay, well, good. All right. What's that? There's Nick at Night. There you go. See? So Anne Lamott is one of my favorites. And she's so amazing. I thought, well, she might have some really profound things to say. And she said, it's an article she publishes every year, and she always gets a lot of pushback. But she says, "This is for you who feel a kind of sheet metal loneliness on Sunday, who had an awful mother, or a mother who recently died or wanted to but didn't get to have kids, or had kids who ended up breaking your hearts." Well, I'm going to say that every kid, everywhere, at some point breaks your heart, whether it's as your child or not, because we all have these expectations. And, the thing I know that unless our heart has been broken open, unless we've been broken open, then we don't necessarily have that grand and great holy capacity for compassion and love for ourselves or for anybody else. And I think that that's really important, to allow ourselves to be in that place, not with the expectation of grief and disappointment, but with the commitment to compassion and the willingness, as Christine said, the yes, the willingness to say yes, the availability to be here to allow the love of other people, because that's what we are here for. We are here to connect. We are here to connect. So Anne Lamott says that she didn't raise her son to do the obligatory Mother's Day. And we didn't raise our son that way either. I mean, I was always on Sundays, either being a music director or a minister somewhere. So I never had breakfast in bed. My mom always got the soggy cornflakes, but I never did. And that's really actually totally fine with me. But I want us to never, ever stigmatize the idea of mothering. Because what I know and what I love about this community is that we have many people who fulfill that role who don't necessarily look like Harriet Nelson, we have people in this community, this is why I love it so much, we are all over the gender spectrum. We are all over the cultural spectrum. We are all over the age, the race, every spectrum that can be imagined, we are there. And to me, that is absolutely the face of God. When I look into this community and see the face of God, however that face looks. And I know that we have people who mother their animals, who mother their gardens, who are mothering their neighbors, their relatives, strangers, whether you have the genetic disposition or as you said a few weeks ago, the naughty bits, the private parts that make you a female or not. We all have that energy. This is the thing about the divine feminine and divine masculine. We are all males and females with divine feminine and divine masculine. I have that masculine in me. I have that feminine in me. Every man in this place has the feminine and the masculine. We are all of that because we have this. It's a gender-inclusive God. How about that? A non-binary God, right? Who absolutely is so loving and so fulfilling in its process and purpose and flow that each of us has been given this divine spiritual assignment to simply show up in love, to be present to the love, to be present to the compassion. So I grew up mostly raised by my mom. While my dad was in the picture, once my parents separated, my father was not the main part of the picture. He was more like background or atmosphere. I know some of you do extra work. He was kind of like an extra. So my mom and I definitely had our conflicts, but we also had lots of humor between us. She was the one who coined the phrase about how we spent time together, because it wasn't always quality time. It was more like quantity time. And that meant, so quality time, is that juicy, face-to-face, spiritual, precious, although not always comfortable time that we would spend together. But quantity time, by the way, is that time that we spent shopping, going to lunch, running errands, and grabbing maybe a quick drive-through meal. And I got to say, the quantity time is what remains in my mind as the most special and the most wonderful. And I miss that so much because we had these episodes of love, of conflict, of growth, of disagreement, of agreement, of all of that, because that is the full spectrum of life. That is the full spectrum of love. So my mom was a model of grace and interesting comments. And as she got older and couldn't quite pull a name or movie title out of her brain, anybody there? Anybody losing your nouns? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So, but she would come up with ones that we always knew what she was talking about. And now they've become like family legacy. For example, the movie she liked so much, and I know you'll all know what it was, Shropshrank. Right? Shawshank Redemption? Shropshrank. And one of her favorite singers was that woman who was a pop singer and then did all of that Mexican music. Rhonda Ringstadt. So now I can't see Shawshank Redemption without thinking, I want to go watch Shropshrank again. My mom was the one who brought me into this beautiful teaching. She mothered me into it. She midwifed me into it. And I was often the thorn in her side when I would remind her to use principle, to read her textbook, to do her prayer and her treatment book. Now, that's pretty obnoxious when you're 9 years old and telling your mom she's not positive enough. And she used to call me her little practitioner. I don't think it was always a compliment. So it's one thing to have a practitioner, but when it's a child, that's part of that friction part that we run into, right? So Ernest Holmes wrote this: Spirit is the Father, Mother, God, because it is the principle of unity back of all things. The masculine and feminine principles both come from the one. Oh, don't you just feel everything open up when you hear that? It is that masculine and that feminine. You and I are direct expressions of that same Father, Mother, divine masculine, divine feminine creator. We all have all of that within us. So I can resonate a little bit with Anne Lamott's antipathy about holding on very tightly to the image of mom on Mother's Day. And because my image of mothering is so much broader than that. And I'm so grateful for that. My husband and I have been fortunate to be able to raise our son with a very mindful and huge awareness that the concept of family is different for everyone. Different for everyone. He began his spiritual education early in this church with the babies and toddlers. So he's got a real understanding of what family means, of what parenting means, of fathering, of mothering, that it's all about the love and it's not about the gender, that it's all about the heart, that's what matters. So this family here, as I look out at all of you, you are all this principle in demonstration, this principle that we teach. What we know is that we're not striving to gain entrance or to earn the right to go into some far-off heaven or to transactionally qualify for it. And ain't that good news? But we are intentionally recognizing, cultivating, and bringing forth that heaven which is already present and seeking to be expressed through us here and now. The kingdom of heaven is right here and right now. And when I look in everybody's face and I see this and I hear the music and I know that all that we do and the beauty that we present here, I think this is heaven. This is what we have been assigned to do. We are here to bring the heaven, to bring the knowing of the heaven, to give the heaven, to bring the knowing of the love, of the compassion, of whatever that mother or father looks like. You and I are that heaven. Kingdom of God is you and me. Our responsibility is to birth it in ourselves and to see it in the people around us. We midwife the kingdom. We midwife the good. We midwife the integrity of spirit. How do we do that? By practicing peace, living love, serving spirit, teaching truth, and my favorite, creating community. We are all here. As I look around, I see that we're all fathering and mothering the creative possibilities for ourselves and for each other. And I honor everyone in this energy and on this journey. And so to that end, I know we've done this, but I'm going to go even deeper with it. So I want to ask everyone who is a mother or is in a mothering and caregiving role to stand and be recognized and remain standing. I know, it's exercise. It's church aerobics. Just get up. If you are a grandmother or a grandfather, please rise. If you are a great-grandmother or great-grandfather, please stand. If you are an aunt, a sister, a brother, an uncle, a pet parent, or someone who raises flowers or trees, or you've ever even just used the word mother in a sentence, would you please stand up? Look around. We are a broad community of aunties, mothers, godmothers, godfathers, fathers, uncles, all of us, sisters and brothers. The profound spirit of nurturing, this is how I get a standing ovation, the profound spirit of nurturing, compassion, and the unconditional love of spirit itself shows up daily in the minds and the hearts of all of us in this community. You can sit now. And that's how I feel about who we are, whether we're connecting to share our stories and our experience about our human children, our four-legged furry children, our slimy and feathered children. The nexus is the love that we have for the ones we care for and we honor. So no matter where you are on this journey, happy Mother's Day, happy Others Day, and thank you for being here and saying yes to this beautiful and magnificent universe. Thank you very much.
Great. So, Julia Ward Howe wrote the first proclamation for Mother's Day. And what it was is it was a call to mothers of soldiers from the North and the South who, there had been so much carnage. When the Civil War started, they were certain it would be over in a few weeks. But it went on and on and on, and tens and thousands of young men died. And so Julia Ward Howe had this vision, this idea that if mothers would come together, because mothers are our first spiritual teachers. I know mine certainly was. And that mothers would come together with this idea that the carnage must end and we must have an agreement for peace because we've got to stop losing our kids over stuff like this. And I look back at that now and I realize, my God, she was so extraordinarily visionary, and it's more applicable now than ever, it seems to me. It is my belief that before our soul incarnates, we actually pick our parents. And I know some people go, oh my God, why would anybody ever do that? And I think we pick them for all of the things they can give to us and also for the things they cannot give to us. We pick them for all the things they are and also for the things that they are not. I remember my good friend Paula Kent Meehan, who passed more than a decade ago, and somebody would often bring something up in front of her and she'd say, I choose never to remember unpleasant things. And that was a revelation to me that I didn't have to remember unpleasant things. And so I'll tell you, my brother and sister and I, although we all had the exact same biological mother, we all had a completely different woman mother us. Because we all remember completely different things. And so I know as a youngster, I absolutely adored my mother. I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world and the most competent woman in the world. And I loved to be near her because she always made a wonderful home. And I felt, as a young child, I felt very, very safe there and nurtured. And I'm at an age now where I do not choose to remember anything else that might be classified as unpleasant. It just doesn't serve me anymore. So if you're wondering, I think a way to look at it is that for all the things mothers could give us and for the things that they couldn't, that's why we picked them. I think none of us would be the people we are today without the influence and the experience we had of our mother and the people who showed up in our life who also mothered us, because I think it does take a village. There are lots of people along the way who mother us at different times in our life. So what I'd like to do, we haven't done this in a number of years because of COVID and whatnot, but I would like all of the mothers to not only stand up, but come out into the aisles and Reverend Sydney, come back up here, I need you. Reverend Sydney, I need you! And some of you will remember this, but this is what we're going to do. So mothers, you don't have to do anything except just receive this. And what I want you to say is, if I or your children no, you don't say anything.
Okay.
Mothers don't say, you just get to receive. If I or your children have ever done anything to hurt you or offend you, please forgive them and please forgive me. That's it. Now, I want to also say that I've been reading in Rudolf Steiner recently, who I'm a big fan of. He says that how we talk about people who have passed through the veil before us, people who are already deceased, is very important because that affects how they continue to evolve. So if you continue to talk about someone in a really negative way, that actually holds them back to some extent, So my encouragement is in your own personal journey to remember and focus on the good stuff, and time's ticking. We can no longer play hard to get. We need to play beat the clock. Just focus on the good. So mothers, if I could ask you to please stand up and kind of move into the aisles, and we're going to come to you, and Sam, maybe you'll play a little underscore for us, and we're going to do this, something like this. If I of your children have ever done anything to hurt you or offend you, please forgive them, and please forgive me. Another mother. If I or your children have ever done anything to hurt you With people, okay? We having brunch? Thank you, God. So just continue to take that in. If I or your children have ever done anything to hurt you or offend you, please forgive them and please forgive me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Well, I feel like it's time to pray, don't you? So let's turn our attention inward for a moment and remember that right here, right now, we are surrounded and filled with the divine presence, God, the living Spirit Almighty, love itself. I know that not only are we connected, we one with God, but we are connected with each other on the unseen side of life. That we are all emanations of the one life and the one love. And so in this awareness of our connection, I speak the word for each and every one of us here today, that we are a place where God's light and God's love is revealed like no place else on earth. And as we remember and honor our earthly mother today and anyone else who did mothering in our life, we just move into a consciousness of gratitude for all that they are, for all that they have been, for all that they will be, for all that they have given, for all that we have received from them. And we bless them on their journey, whether they're on this side of the veil or the other, knowing that life is absolutely eternal. And so I speak this word for each and every one of us, that we are open, willing vessels for God's healing presence. And whatever it is that's heavy on our heart today, I know that with God, all things are possible. So I accept for each and every one of us that healing is taking place, that we are willing, and where we're not willing, we're willing to be willing for that healing to happen. We include in our prayer all of our family members and friends, parents, children, loved ones, all of those we hold near and dear. And as we see them in our mind's eye, we know that God is present right where they are, that they are loved, they are supported, their needs are met, they are cared for. And like in Julia Ward Howe's proclamation, we speak our word for peace on our planet, that we get this figured out right now so that young men and women don't have to keep dying. I know that there's a solution in the mind of God, and we are open and willing and receptive to it. And so we let our prayer be a blessing energy, a peaceful, loving balm that surrounds and includes every person on the face of the earth, offering more light and more love and more healing. We bless our church. We bless all churches everywhere, synagogues and temples and mosques and ashrams and all paths to God. And wherever there is a spot that looks like it's troubled on the face of the earth, we put a little extra love and energy right there. And remember that even beyond these wild appearances, God is present. And we call forth that possibility of greater peace and greater love and greater harmony for all people. And so for us gathered here today, for the healing that's unfolding in each and every one of our lives, I say thank you, God. I release this word into God's perfect law, and so it is. Together we all say, Amen. All right, we'll sing one time together.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
All right, I invite you to hold your gift over your heart, and we'll say our statement of giving together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. Thank you very much.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Everything I need is right in front of me. Every place I stand is holy ground. Everyone I meet has something beautiful for me. Everywhere I go, it's all around. There is something sacred here, something beautiful, something real and true, something powerful. There is something sacred here, something wonderful that only I can do. There is something sacred here. If I ran around and did 100 million tasks and didn't do what God sent me to do, then I will have done nothing to express the depth of holiness that God made me to use. There is something sacred here, something beautiful, something real and true, something powerful. There is something sacred here, something wonderful that only I can do. There is something sacred here. We don't know just how much much time we have, but there's one thing we can do. We can hold a heart of passion for everyone, and every day we have to let God's love come shining through. There is something sacred here, something beautiful, something real and true, something powerful. There is something sacred here, something wonderful that only we can do. There is something sacred here.
Thank you to our wonderful band. Thank you, Susan K. Wyatt, and thank you to, thank you so much to our wonderful band. Thank you, Susan K. Wyatt, and our digital ministry team. Thank you so much. Our announcements for today, Sunday, May the 12th. On your bulletin, you will see how to make donations to our church through our text to give number, a QR code, or through our website, nhcrs.org/give. Prayer with a practitioner is available after service in the sanctuary or on Zoom. If you have babies, kids, or teens, we have a place for all of them. Every Sunday at 9:45 a.m., our junior church is open. Every Wednesday night, we offer a midweek pick-me-up. It starts with meditation at 6:50 p.m. and moves into music, wisdom, and healing prayer at 7 p.m. This week, practitioner ministerial student Bill Carpenter's topic is the heart of the matter. Please see the purple page in your program or online for details on the following events. Good Gossip Club with practitioner Nikki Swara meets today at 1 p.m. in the junior church. Grief support on Zoom with practitioner Carol Winokur meets today at 1 p.m. on Zoom, and the Zoom link is on our website. Practicing the Spiritual Lessons of Emma Curtis Hopkins ongoing class with Reverend Tricia Klink. Please sign up online. And please note, this class start date has been postponed and is to be determined. More information is forthcoming, and thank you so much for your patience. Walk the labyrinth. Come one, come all, and support your soul with the peace and blessing of a labyrinth walk. Friday, May 24, 6:30 p.m., orientation and explanation for the first-time walkers, and walk from 7 to 9 p.m. Then Saturday, May the 25th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Healing Walk. Sign up on the patio to support this event. Today's beautiful flowers are in memory of Richard Malouf. Save these dates. May 26th, barbecue on the lawn after the second service to celebrate Dr. Mark. Wear your favorite Hawaiian garb. And June 9th, Taste of Soul fundraiser on the church lawn after the second service. Sign up on the patio on Sunday to support the Taste of Soul.
There's one more date that we didn't get in there, and that's that next week, a week from today, the mothering continues with our Loving Outreach Ministry. And so if you would like to help us feed those who are experiencing food insecurity or homelessness, we do this the third Sunday of every month, and you can sign up on the patio, and we are featuring a Mexican feast next week. So sign up. We need you to participate. Thank you. Sorry about the interruption.
No, thank you so much. That's very important. Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday and Wednesday services. Zoom meditation meets every morning, Monday through Saturday from 7:55 to 8:15 a.m. And visit our website, nhcrs.org, for Zoom links, for information, and to sign up for weekly e-blasts and monthly newsletters. Thank you very much.
Great. We have wonderful practitioners who are here to pray with you, so practitioners, come on forward. If you would like prayer, just remain in the sanctuary. This is their gift to you. I thank you for choosing church. Let's stand and we'll sing.
1, 2, 3. Love ons all our way. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So please repeat after me. I'm at home in the heart of God.
I'm at home in the heart of God.
My life is anchored in truth.
My life is anchored in truth.
I can never be separate.
I can never be separate.
I live in the consciousness of peace.
I live in the consciousness of peace.
I release all fear.
I release all fear.
I am living love.
I am living love.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.